Now, if you're anything like me, when it's a blistering hot, sunny summer afternoon, you think to yourself, God, I want to go out into the middle of a hot hayfield, brew me up some nice, warm, hot coffee. And today, that's what I'm here to show you how to do. So a few years ago, I bought this Stanley Boil and Brew French press. And I really like the product. I really like the idea of the product. And I've made some really good cups of coffee with this thing. But the truth is, I've also made some really bad cups of coffee with this thing. I've had a lot of trouble getting consistency out of it. I either make it too strong or not strong enough, or some weird combination of the two maybe. But I've dedicated myself to figuring out how to make coffee with this thing, and I think I got it figured out. Now, I found that the secret for me is to not try and boil the coffee in this coffee pot. It always boils over. With a canister stove, with a propane camping stove, with a butane camping stove, solid fuel, alcohol stove, everything I've tried, it's going to boil over and it's going to get water and coffee grounds everywhere and make a mess. And of course, it's going to affect the flavor of your coffee because you're losing half your grounds. So the other day I was thinking about those pour over coffee devices where you put the device on top of your cup, put the grounds in it, and then pour your boiling water on top of that, and it makes a nice cup of coffee. Why can't we try that with the French press? Just boil the water in a different container, pour it over the grounds, and then press it. It's got to be just as good, right? Well, I decided to try it, and it's definitely really good, and that's the way to go. So by boiling the water in some kind of secondary cook pot, you solve two problems. You don't have the coffee grounds boiling in the water, so you don't have to worry about them boiling over and making a mess everywhere. And you also don't have to worry about accidentally getting it too hot. Oftentimes with any kind of camp coffee, it's easy to get it too hot. And when you get coffee too hot, it causes it to be a little too bitter. So you're bringing the water up to a boil in one pot, pouring it into a second pot, you're turning your flame off. You're not adding any more heat to it at that point. So you don't have to water. So if you boil your water in a secondary device, so basically you're just bringing the water up to a boil, then you're turning the flame out. You're not adding any more heat to it. You don't have to water. So basically, since you're bringing the water up to a boil in your second cook pot, you're turning the flame off at that point. You're not adding any more heat to the situation. You're not going to get your water too hot, and you don't have to worry about making your coffee too bitter. I poured that up to the 20-ounce mark. While we're waiting on that water to boil, I poured the water up to the 20-ounce mark, and I'm using about 2.5 tablespoons of coffee grounds, and I'm using an espresso grind. It's generally recommended not to use an espresso grind in any kind of French press because it clogs up the filter. But if that happens, I'll show you what I do to overcome that. You put that heat screen on there, it deflects all that heat right up to the handle. All right, now I set my timer for 6 minutes. Some people go 7, some people go 10, I go 6. But I've got to use my phone for my timer, and I'm filming this on my phone, so you'll have to excuse me for just a minute. Now, I used to stir the coffee at this point, but I have found that the less you agitate those grounds, the less bitter your coffee turns out, and I don't like a bitter coffee. We got about 30 seconds before that timer goes off. I'm gonna show you something to all you Stanley 2-cup fanatics out there. This is the original Stanley 2-cup Adventure, whatever you call it. Stanley Adventure 2-cup Cookpot. This is a Yeti mug. I think it's like a... So I'm back at home editing some of that video, and I realized I had some technical difficulties and lost some video. This is what I was going to show you earlier. This is the Stanley Adventure 2-cup Cookpot. I forget what size this is. It's 12, 14, 16 ounce, something like that, but it's the Yeti. It might be a Rambler. I'm not totally sure what the name of this is, but it's, you know, if you find a Yeti product that looks like this, it's this one. Swing! Check that out. Fits pretty tight. I know you Stanley Adventure 2-cup fanatics really get into the nesting stuff, so there you go. There's another thing that nests inside. I also missed the part where I actually pressed the coffee, and that's a major fail because that's like the most satisfying thing to watch ever. And I'm not gonna make another cup of coffee just to do that. It's wasteful. I accidentally also cut the part where I put honey in my coffee in addition to the milk. That's how I am, folks. I put milk and honey in my coffee. I don't drink it black. You can love me for who I am, or you can move on to someone else. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is a good cup of coffee. And for those Stanley Adventure 2-cup fanatics, there's one more thing I found out earlier I forgot to mention. This is the lid that goes with this cup. Check this out. Boing. Nice, tight fit. Pretty cool, right? Still pretty hot. Still pretty hot. So I know there's gonna be people out there in the comments saying, come on, drink some black coffee, it'll put some hair on your chest. And I'm here to tell you, no thanks, got all I can handle. You have all that hairy chest coffee to yourself, buddy. But I think I am gonna put a lid on this cup of coffee and head on out of here. I don't know if you can hear the thunder on the video, but it's been flirting with raining since I've been out here, and I'm just asking to get hit by lightning out here in this hayfield. But if you enjoyed this content, hit that subscribe button. I'm at like 20% more subscribers than I had a month ago, which means I'm approaching 80. We're gonna get there, folks. Stick with me.
You've just seen a video from Redbellies and River Rats. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and consider subscribing. We're going to be putting out videos on an irregular schedule for a while, so you might want to hit that notification bell to avoid missing the next one. Thanks for watching.
Packing down the rivers, watching the waters flow. Early in the morning, we hit the trail so bright. With the sun on our faces, everything feels right. We're pitching our tents under the stars, the campfire burning bright. We're singing and laughing, having the time of our lives. River rats and redbellies, we're living life so free, exploring the wilderness where we're meant to be. With our paddles in hand, we navigate the streams, campfire stories and moonlit dreams. Campfire stories and moonlit dreams, knocking down the rivers, watching